Hey everybody, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you a tour of the inside of my work trailer. I've got this set up pretty efficiently. I've got tons of tools in here. You might find it pretty interesting to see what all I carry and how I organize it. And I'm going to show you that right after this. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by that Kilted Guy videos here at on YouTube and our website at thatkiltedguy.com. Be sure and check out our link down below. The links are in the description. There's links to our website, our Amazon page with tools, suggestions, and so on, and some free guides we're giving away. And as always, it's my goal here on that Kilted Guy videos to teach you guys how to do your own home improvement projects, teach you tips and tricks, empower you to do your own and take pride in your workmanship, and I'm going to show you how to do it right. But today's a little bit different. Some of you might find this interesting. If you don't want to know, you probably want to skip now, because I'm just going to show you how I've got my trailer set up. I'm going to walk you through the trailer and just kind of show you some of the things that I've done that make me more efficient. And I'm going to put these tips and tricks into a course one day where I'm going to teach you guys how to make from $70 to $120 an hour doing drywall repairs. And it's not by just charging more, it's by being more efficient, doing a better job, and giving a better quality service. And there's a lot to that. Part of it's this trailer. I'm just going to give you a little brief walkthrough and show you some of the things that could make you more efficient if you set yours up similar to this if you have a trailer. So I'm going to swap the screen around and walk you through it from behind the camera. Okay, what we're going to be showing you is the inside of this work trailer. So let's go over here, and I'll start with the back doors. These back doors are actually pretty wimpy, so I put my lightest items on them. I put this plywood on here to give it enough strength to hold these things. Honestly, I wish I had a stronger trailer, but I'll soon be doing YouTube full time, so I'm not worried about it. But you see, what I did is I hung up things that I most commonly use, and items that are kind of bigger go back here too. But I cut a lot of sheetrock, so I got the T-square hanging there. And then I've got these extension poles. There's one extension pole, and then the vacuum extension poles. This one right here, for example, this one, you click this and this extends out. Don't know if I can do this one-handed. Okay, there, you see it extended out, and it's really handy for cleaning up on these jobs because it gives me a longer one so I don't have to bend over so much. And then what I did to make holders, I made these out of PVC. I just cut them just wide enough to where the item doesn't quite go into it, but all you have to do, this one is actually made for another one of these, and this is thicker, so it's a little bit harder, but you just give it a smack, it goes right in there, holds really well. PVC works great to hold things. This is where I normally have my caulking gun, which is on the job. So these are some of the things that I use the most. Then when we come over here to this door, there's things missing because I'm on the job, but here's where my broom, my little simple broom like you'd use in your house, goes, and my sand pole hangs right here, and that's like this sand pole picture here. And then I've got some handy things like my screwdrivers, most common ones, one of my mixing paddles. I keep an assortment of things in here, like mostly marking tools, so pencils, markers. I keep one tape measure in here, and this one, that's where it always stays. I also have built these custom little blocks here, and what these are is when the wind's blowing, is these doors don't have any way of locking themselves out. So if the wind's blowing, the door wants to blow around, blow shut, or if I park on a little bit of a grade, the door won't stay open. Well, I made these with these little slots in them. You can see kind of here, and they just snap onto here, and now the door stays right where it's supposed to. So if we move into the trailer, first thing you see is a really dirty set of headphones hanging here. or not headphones, but ear protection. And my other mixing paddle that's on the job normally goes through here, up under here, through another one, and it's my 4-bladed one, so the blades fit right around here, nice and compact in there. I used to hang a DeWalt light here that I had, but I think someone stole it from me on a job, so I haven't replaced it yet. So I put up these little LED lights, so I've got light in here. I've got 2 of them in here. Then right at the back I hang several pairs of scissors. There's another pair on the job, a dusting brush, one of my smaller mixing paddles that's good for hot mud and grout, things like that. And then down here is my dustpan in this little box that I made. It's just for utility knives, and I have it marked here so that people know what goes in there. Okay, now let's move on to right here, this section. You see these 4 blocks right here. I've got them marked. This one says paper, this one says 48, 9 foot, and just an extra. I have 4 of these hand maskers, which, if you don't know what a hand masker is, I'm going to do a video on this one day, but these are really handy for masking. So that one holds 9 foot or 6 foot. I kind of switch it, so I just flip the 9 over and you got a 6. This one is supposed to be 48-inch wide masking film. My paper one is in the job. I keep a framing square right there that's handy. And then I have this box up here that I built and mounted up high. And it just has all these little compartments where I can store things like paper towels, some coveralls, Tyvek coveralls for spraying, hydrogen peroxide for first aid, spare vacuum cleaner bags for my vacuums, extra plastic. This is some extra heavy draping plastic that works good on furniture. And so that's just a really handy box there. So when we move down from that, we have another box that I built that says dust mask. And then I keep this little T-bar here. And the reason that's there is when I haul sheetrock inside the inside of this trailer, this is a 12-foot trailer, so I can haul 12-foot rock, and I put it down the side here, but inevitably it will tip over and it can do some damage and be really difficult to get back out. So I stick this T-bar in here with this wide part against the sheetrock and the other part against this wall. It won't tip over. Sometimes I keep other things in here. In the winter time I have to have a heater, so I got that down there. I have a little rack here where I can hang 3 little ladders. This middle one is adjustable, the back one is not, the yellow one. And then my favorite step stool, it's a Type 1A step stool I've had for probably close to 20 years. That thing is bulletproof. Then back here, if you see, I have a spot where I hold my knockdown knives. I used to have 2, but since I'm getting out of this, I sold one to a friend of mine. And then just a little storage box. Mainly I keep things like cable clips and things in here and some spare little shims. Then I've got a first aid kit sitting right here. And inside of the first aid kit box is where I keep all my big sanding disc for my 9-inch sander. And then another light right there. A stack of buckets right here. The bottom one is screwed to the floor. That way they can't ever tip over. Okay, so moving further along that wall, we come to the front door. And on the front door, I have these zip pulls. If you don't know what they are, check them out. They're very handy. They can make a walled room of plastic really quick on ceilings up to 11 foot tall. And I used to mount a few other things here, but this door just couldn't take it. So I moved some to here. Here's 2 of my texture sprayers, and they have permanent mounts, and behind them is some pole clips, and I keep a homemade floor masker, that yellow and black thing there. I'll have to show you that sometime. That will dispense 2-inch wide tape on floor plastic, taping it to the floor, and I made that out of a hand masker. And then that pole is one I keep permanently set up for scraping popcorn. A long extension pole, a dusting brush, because it's a dusting broom. I always try and leave my customers home clean. We move along this back wall. I have two big, I think they're 23-inch fans that move like 3,500 CFM of air. When I'm trying to speed a job along, those do a lot to dry it overnight. Back in the corner, kind of tucked back in here, is where I keep some other poles, my Hoover vacuum, my Porter cable sander is right there, and some heavy 4mm plastic down there. Plus there's other things like a collapsible trash can under there. I've got a lot of stuff in here. I've got two other fans in here, and I see, wow, this one fell apart on me. Didn't know that. I guess I gotta fix it. There's one of my little fans and another small fan. So I have 4 fans on my trailer. That way I can really dry a lot of stuff when I'm on a bigger job with a lot of little repairs. And my drywall stilts just kind of sit here, and some miscellaneous tools underneath. I've got job lights, a bag of general mechanical type tools, chisels, screwdrivers, so on. And my little battery, cordless battery operated vacuum, which is a great vacuum. I'll have to demo that one day. Made by DeWalt. I'll put that link down below. And my cordless skill saw, which I often use to cut backing pieces when I'm doing repairs. And then some general small painting tools. I just keep a few in here. I do have a lawn chair for jobs where it's a bigger job. I want to be able to take a break now and then. I keep some extra masking supplies in an old drywall mud box. Those things are so solid. They work great. Then coming up to the next shelf, I have some general supplies there. A whole bin full of different caulking and things like glues. I have my crud cutter, fast and final, Kansas spray texture, bucket of screws, and some general other chemicals, because sometimes I have to treat mold. This is the RX35 in my torn paper video. I downsized my gallons to these little, I think they're pint size cans, because you undo these enough, doing little spots, pretty soon these lids won't seal. I just toss them. If you had a gallon can, you'd have to toss the whole can. Moving up to the top shelf, I keep some extra screws, construction, trash bags, a whole bin full of sanding blocks and sanding miscellaneous. Back here, this is important, emergency toilet paper. You never know when you're gonna need it. I'm telling you. One of my other hand maskers, I think I have 5 of them. My bin full of rags, and you'll notice I have cleaning supplies, because again, if I need to, I will dust the customer's furniture, which I did on the job yesterday. It was really, really clean, but their house was spotless, so I dusted it to make sure I left it spotless. Moving forward, we get to a bin full of trash bags, some extra paper. Now these little kitchen-sized trash bags, you want to keep these if you're doing drywall repairs or even painting, because when you get done with the day, this is one of my other texture sprayers. You just wrap it up in one of them trash bags. They're cheap as heck, and then it doesn't dry out till you can clean it up. So more masking materials. This is still the top shelf. We're moving towards the back of the trailer. I keep some flex bead in here, a whole bucket full of clips. These are really handy for clipping back plastic. Like if you cover a person's cabinets, you clip the plastic up to the top of the cabinet at night. They can still use their cabinets, and then you just unclip it, drop it down. Works much better than tape. So moving back out to from the back of my trailer, coming back in on the left side. This bucket here, I keep this hanging here. I just keep some more small buckets in it and more of my rags. And this is a dusting attachment that goes on one of my sanders. I keep an assortment of little cups here because they're really handy. Like I mount them up here and I keep chemicals in them. And notice my left side here. See that gap there? See how there's sheetrock there? That's an 8-foot long sheet of rock. I designed this so this whole shelving sits out from the wall about 6 inches, and then I can slide 4 or 5 sheets of rock in here, and then I've always got some on hand. And then on this one I can have all kinds of different kinds of corner bead. And today I just slid this long cut piece of sheetrock in here. You can see some more corner bead, and up here even more. I can haul up to about 10-foot corner bead in here. So I've got L metal, J bead, all kinds of different corner beads, so that I don't have to go shopping all the time. I've got the supplies I need to get the job done. And you see this bin right here is full of drop cloths. Here's another handy tool, a DeWalt cordless blower. I use this all the time. One thing I do with it is when I leave the job, if I've made any mess out the back of my trailer, I blow it away if it's just dusty. And I can use it to blow out my dusting mops so that they're nice and clean before I go dust and so on. Really handy tool. You can even blow yourself off. There's my big push broom. It's just kind of mounted up along the side of the shelf. Then my first bin here is just masking tape. Second bin is drywall finishing tools, and half of them are inside on the job. And then drywall hanging tools. Then if we move right up from that, I have these shelves that I built into this system. They're normally locked down by this little lever here, just a cabinet latch so they can't come open while it's going down the road. I pull up, I flip that out. It's painted yellow so I can look in here and go, oh, that's still open. And then inside these drawers is all kinds of stuff. Bins of just little tools, supplies. I mean, I'm prepared to do anything quickly. I don't have to go digging for stuff. I know where most all this stuff is. I keep it organized, keep plenty of supplies. Very handy to have. Then right to the left of it, it's where I keep some of my cordless tools. And like this little tool here, it's a DeWalt gyro activated cordless screwdriver. Best one on the market, I'm telling you. I'll do a review on that one day. Fantastic tool. Spare batteries, some shoes. Since I don't wear shoes much, I wear them when I need to. There they are. Most of the time I'm barefoot, as you guys know. Little containers full of things like this one's marked nut drivers and miscellaneous. This one is my bit tips and extra drill bits and accessories. And then I have one of just drill bits. So it's all very organized, as you can see. I carry some Dawn dish soap in here. I carry some oil, paint can openers, Gorilla duct tape. I mean, this thing is loaded to the hilt. Then down below, if we go down below these bins, this is where I store all my buckets with lids. Now most of them are inside too. But you'll notice there is a stop right there so that they can't slide out into the middle. That keeps them from tipping over and keeps them in place. And then of course I didn't really mention this. This is my rigid stacking toolbox. There's 3 of them on there. They come apart quickly. This is what I call my drywall repair kit. It's going to be really hard to expose here with half sunlight and half shade, but inside there's 2 sides of screws and stud finders and all kinds of things. And down below I actually have backing pieces pre-cut, and they look like this. I use OSB. I take scrap OSB and just pre-cut a bunch of them into backing pieces, and I keep some inside of there. I keep pre-cut sheetrock. It's cut into 6x6 and 8x8 pieces, so I can patch most any fist size hole quickly. And there's more in there, more miscellaneous tools, staplers, all the things I need to pull up and do a job quickly. Hey, there's a quick tour of the inside of my work trailer. What do you think? Do you think I have too many tools? Sometimes I wonder. But you know what? Every time I take tools out of here, I need it next week. So I have to keep a lot of tools in here because I do so many jobs where you just don't know what you're going to roll up on. Never know when I'm going to need shims or backing or different corner bead. And if you just show up to the job, find out what you need, and then go shopping, you waste a lot of time. I show up and I just start working. That's why I say I'm going to put out a course to show you how to make $70 to $120 an hour or more. I've made more than that. And that's just because I'm so efficient and I'm really good at what I do, and I have all these things set up in certain ways, and there's more to it than what I showed you here. But that does give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Oh, you notice my head's hitting the trailer. I'm 6'2". My trailer's not. So I'm gonna squat back down here, and I have to duck. I've hit my head on this trailer too many times, but the trailer I wanted was like $2,000 more, and I just didn't have the money at the time. So we bought this one. So hey, you see these videos popping up right here? If one of them appeals to you and can help you, be sure and click on it. That's kind of the end of my tour of my trailer. If you got any questions, ask me down below. But otherwise, I appreciate you guys a whole lot. And thanks for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video.